I've just had an interesting experience. One of my friends, well not one of my friends, somebody from work, they wanted to buy a motorbike, and it was only down the road from where we're working. He said, well, I'll go with him after work, so I went with him after work. They showed me some pictures of the advert online, on the internet, and it looked bloody mint, it looked really good. And I was like, oh mate, are you going to get it? He's like, yeah, well, I'm prepared to buy it, so we're just going to go and have a look, I want a test ride, and then we'll get it. We got there, and mate, the oil cooler was hanging off. It wasn't what he was expecting, and it certainly wasn't what I was expecting either. The oil cooler was hanging off, back tyre was flat, front one was worn out, wouldn't even start properly. Just goes to show sometimes adverts online and pictures online don't always, you know, you can't always go buy them. That's why it's always worth reviewing something before you commit to buying it, my friends. Unfortunately, it's often the case that people, you know, they think that their items are the tits, so they advertise them as being the tits, but when you're outside the box, it ain't that good. So when you go and look at it and you're like, what, this person's advertised this as being the nuts, what's the matter? You know, but to that person, to that particular person, you know, they might be like, I thought it was really good, you know, I've always looked after it, but really they haven't. I need to cut all that rope off. That's probably, well, I wouldn't have thought that would be the reason why they took it off. Oh, fucking stuck. That one ain't. That one's seized up. That's going to need a bit of work. I can't see them taking that off just because it got rope on it. Well, you can just cut the rope off by reaching underneath. So, but it ain't in too bad a condition actually. The blades look alright. They're not very badly dented. Usually the blades will dent up like hell. But they're not. They're alright. Wheels are intact. The pulleys are there. The belts are there. And intact. But I'm not quite sure why that one isn't turning. Never mind. Right, let's cut all this rope off and see what happens, shall we? We can get another look, probably a better look at the top of the deck here, for those of you that are interested. Got pulleys, we've got that belt. That's the belt that goes around the front pulley, which is the one that comes off the engine, which is there. Then obviously when you pull the lever, I'm not sure exactly how this one works. Got that lever there, puts that little thing up and down. I'm assuming that brings the deck up and that puts the deck down. There's usually a lever which tightens the belt, which then obviously lets the blade spin, and then you put it the other way and then the belt goes slack and the blades don't spin. So we'll have to see how all that's going to work out. But everything does seem okay. I fixed that one that was stuck. I just needed a little bit of oil on it, and we got that going round. So let's try and put this on now. I can't see. I'm pretty sure it's missing some pins there. Usually, to take a deck off of one of these mowers, I don't know about this particular brand, but on the ones that I'm used to, they're just pins. Like that one there should have a pin that goes onto that little spline thingamajig there. So I can put it on there, I just need a pin. I need a cotter pin or something. One of those is what I need to secure it, but at least I can offer it up and put it there to see if it's all going to work. It's all lined up, all ready to go, but I found out why the deck was taken off in the first place by the looks of things. if you look on that side, there's a little bracket coming down with a hole in it. If you look on this side, it's been snapped off. Can you see where it was snapped off from? You see the little hole there. If it will, there you go. You see where it's snapped off now. So, I was going to try and manufacture my own little bracket. Trouble is, I don't really have any suitable metal. I've got a bit of flat plate I could chop a bit off of. Well, I've got some box section here, but that's not really going to work. I might try and chop a bit of this plate. The only problem is it is quite thick. It might be too thick for it. Don't know yet. But I can just sort of cut a slither off down there like that, long enough, like that. Drill a hole in the end of it and then weld it straight on. That might work. I'll see if I can do that, I suppose. Right, so I've been very gaily putting this back together again, and now that it's back together, we can see the extent of the things that are missing. Now, I knew that there was going to be something missing to lift the deck up and down again, because I couldn't find any way of doing it. So there's something missing to lift the deck up and down. There's also something missing what goes on that little thing there. I'm assuming I'm assuming it's like a belt tension or something, because where are we? There we are. When you pull it, it lifts it up. Do that, it goes down again. And there's obviously something what's snapped off there. So yeah. Now we know that what's missing, and obviously that little bracket's broken. I did make a little bit of metal so that I could try and put it back on. I cut a little slither off to try and I was going to weld that back on. Then I thought to myself, bloody hell man, what I need to do is offer it up to make sure everything's there. I knew there was going to be something missing to lift it up and down because I couldn't find it, so I knew that was missing anyway. But everything, it all fits on. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take it off again and just have this as a little lawnmower. Well, not a little lawnmower, but as like a little tractor thing to pull stuff along. Well, I'm not going to, but that's what I'm going to sell it as anyway. And I'll sell the deck with it, and if whoever wants to repair it, they can repair it. So that's what I'm going to have to do, because I'm not going to try and find all the bits to get all the mechanism for lifting the deck up and down. The thing is, they wouldn't make a mower that you can't lift the deck up and down. That's ridiculous. So there is a mechanism for that somewhere. It's probably that handle. Usually is a handle on the bigger ones. They have hydraulics, but this hasn't got any hydraulics, so it'll be a handle. Probably that one. It's probably meant to be some kind of mechanism that goes onto that bit where it's snapped off there and pulls the deck up and down. So that's probably what it's supposed to be, but it ain't there. So, and I'm not going to try and make it. I can't be bothered with that crap. So yeah, that's where we are at the minute. I'm going to give it a clean up. At some point I'm going to get it outside and give it a wash. Clean all the engine up, make sure the engine's all spick and span, make sure that it drives, and I'll have a little drive on it. And we'll put the box on. We've got the box over there, we'll stick that on, make sure that's all hunky-dory. There's nothing wrong with the box, I don't think so. We'll put all that on at some point. And yeah, then we'll get going. But the thing is, this battery, trying to get this battery to charge, still charging now, so it's taking a fair amount of amperage. It's nearly on 0 now. So yeah, sweet man. He can't resist the light, man. He can't resist it. He's on there going, bloody hell, I need this light, I need the light. It does actually say there that that's what that lever's for, putting the deck up and down. I'm imagining then as the deck goes up, the belt gets loose and disengages, and as the deck goes down, it gets tight again and makes the blades go round. That's the only problem with these domestic mowers. The domestic ones are pretty simple and shit. You know, with the commercial ones that I'm used to, you got levers for everything. So you got a hydraulic lever, what puts the deck up and down. That's all it does. And then you've got a lever what puts the blades on and off. You know, and you've got lever for everything. But on these shitty domestic ones, they just have, they're simple, aren't they, you know, so that's the way that it goes. But and it looks like the grass box what's on here is one you have to manually empty as well. That's a bit not very good if you're lazy, is it, having to manually empty your grass box? It doesn't look like it's one that is automatic, but hey ho, at least it runs. We'll give it a clean out next time. Sweet, man.
What I want you to do now is I want you to tell me in the comments below any experiences you had from going to view a car, a motorbike, or whatever. You know, it might have looked nuts in the pictures in the advert, and then when you've gone to look at it, you know, the guy might be like, oh yeah, it's this, it's that, you know. And when you've got to look at it, it's a total pile of crap. You know, and you've had to be like, oh man, I'm sorry, but that's not what I thought it was going to be like, and I'm not going to buy that unless you're going to take 2p for it. So yeah, in the comments below, let me know any experiences you've had, because I love hearing from you lot to see what experiences you've had. Then you get the knobheads that are like, oh yeah, it's just had a rebuild, blah 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 blah, when it ain't had nothing. Then you get the other dickheads that say, oh, it's had a rebuild because of this, because of that, but the reason it had a rebuild was because they ragged the hell out of it.